So I got this skidoo citation here. Had her on the trail a few years ago. It's a 4500 with 3500 seat. I think it looks kind of cool being short like that. Got the speedometer there. It's the 377. I put the dual carbs on here. This engine didn't originally come with the dual carbs. It originally came single carb. This is a factory engine. It's never been opened up or taken apart. Factory style clutch there. And I had a different engine in this chassis, one that I had kind of cleaned up a little bit in the ports, and it ran really healthy with the twin carbs. This one does not, so I think I'm gonna pull the engine out. It takes like 10 minutes to pull it out, and take the engine apart, clean things up, reseal it. Took the lube injection off, made it pretty simple, basic. Out here in my land of misfits, that I call it, got 02 Articat cross country. It's been sitting for a few years. That thing has a hole in the heat exchanger. Oh, if I'll be able to get you a good shot of that up in there, right there. The stud ripped, and then it pulled away from the track, and it was rubbing up on the heat exchanger. Wore a hole through it, so it's been sitting for a few years. I gotta take care of that. This is my Honda 250 SX. A few years ago, it was sitting in two separate pieces. There's the other frame that the engine was in. One day I was like, I want to ride it. So I spent a couple hours and I got it running. I drove it around the yard, and then I parked it. It needs a lot of work. The rear end's got to get rebuilt on it. Front end's got to get rebuilt. The engine is in good running order. It just needs the rear end to be built and the front end to be rebuilt. I'll get into that. But today's little project is going to be this guy here. I want to try to get this clutch off of here. This is a, you see that? Securistat Incorporated. His US patent number. Canadian patent. Powerbloc. Made in Canada. Drummondville, Quebec. Kind of see in there, there's a block in there, and that block will get force from centrifugal. It'll force that block out, and then it will tighten up. This is the engine that I had the dual carbs on. She was a good runner. The only problem that I had with it was it was leaking really bad out of the exhaust manifold. I think there was some bolts stripped. So that's why I decided to replace the whole engine. But today I want to try to get this clutch off of here, so we're gonna go play around and see if we can get that clutch off of there. So I would like to put this clutch onto there because I kind of liked it. I thought it performed quite well. So I don't know if we're gonna get this thing off of here. It's been sitting outside in the elements. I mean, she's pretty dirty. You can see all that stuff down the exhaust valve. You know, she didn't have any spark plugs in there or anything, so like I said, it's just playing around. Alright, so we have our 19 mil socket and Harbor Freight electric impact. Let's see what happens. That part came. Now I'll have a better look at the pucks I was talking about. You can see they're tapered. Sit down in there. Centrifugal force pushes them out, which and then squeezes that down. We hit our first roadblock. It does not thread in. The puller I got is not going to work for this application. Let's see if we can make something happen. So I found a 2-jaw puller where I had the right thread I needed, so I cannibalized it, busted that off, got her off. What I had to do is take a little bolt, stick it down into there to have something to push off of, and see she ate into there pretty good. But we have victory. We have our Powerbloc clutch off. Now we can take the engine back to the land of the Misfits. Alright, now that we are back to the land of the Misfits, we're going to start pulling the clutch cover and the carburetors, the exhaust. We're going to start pulling this engine and try to get it inside today. Here we are 2 minutes later. She's she's loose. Just have the hood cable. The mice got in here. Air box is full, so I'm gonna clean the carbs up. You can see there's a nest down there. Probably vacuum out the belly there before we put the engine back in. So I'm just gonna take that off of there and then pull the engine, take it, put it in the basement, and start disassembling it. I think that's gonna be it for today though, so come on back now.